So I'm blessed in that, I often feel really inspired and creative. And so I guess when I don't feel like that, I forget that that's part of it, like that you can't be up in that space all the time. And it's ironic because of course I teach all about like embracing the darkness and um all that. But so it's, yeah, good to notice that I've been wanting to solve it and distract myself from, or just seeing it as something wrong, that I go through days of like confusion or feeling irritable, instead of just seeing like that it's all good. And one thing in particular that I'm really frustrated about in the moment is so there's a retreat in Charleston that a really good friend of mine, like my best girlfriend, is going to, and that it just sounded awesome, like, and it felt like, yeah, like we're both meant to go. And it's um it's hosted by this woman Simran, who's done something called the Rebel Road tour, which I haven't seen any of the shows, but it sounds similar to some kind of like something that I'm planning on doing. And so it made sense in that way. And um yeah, and I just felt like it was such a yes at first. But then I started to wonder, and I had questions, of course, about like the money piece and all that. But I was like, if I can figure it out. But then, yeah, questions have come up today, and I feel frustrated that I'm not clear. I'm like, why can't I just know? And I feel urgency because it's like, it's in a few weeks. I need to decide. I need to like buy a plane ticket um, and I just feel disappointed and annoyed that I can't just make a simple decision like that. And it's back to that thing of like, there's a part of me that's like, just fuck it. Like, if you want to go, follow your joy, go. And there's another part that's like really being discerning, and it's like, no, I think that even that might have been a distraction. And it's very tempting because it doesn't feel like a distraction, because it's like, no, it would be like great energy for me to be with my friend. And this retreat is like, it's about becoming more yourself, and it's the languaging around it. It's about like mystery and coming home and all the things I'm about. So I'm just sitting with it. I'm like, you know what? If you're not clear, you're not clear. And that whole thing of being 100%, it doesn't mean trying to figure it out and make sure something's perfect before you decide, but it does mean like, if there's not 100% yes, then you don't force yourself to jump in. It's just because I could easily do that. I just charge on the credit card and just go. But I don't want to make decisions from that place of just like, fuck it. I want to make a decision from, yes, I totally want this. And so if there's fear, yeah, fuck that, and I'll just do it anyway. But I'm not sure if I totally want it, and to like just give myself a break, because I think, yeah, I guess wish I was more clear than I am. And honestly, there's a part of me that feels like it might just be temptation, like, another thing that someone else is teaching me. And yes, I would love to spend time with my friend, but when maybe it's more about just staying still. Um, yeah, because another thing that came up in the reading, which just felt so good, like just to receive, like, because she was saying so many things that I would say to someone else, and especially at the end of the reading, she was like reminding me to like rest a lot and really let things integrate, and know that, even if it feels counterintuitive, like I have a lot of things I want to do right now, that, to really like let myself sink in and take care of myself is actually, the best place to work from, and the best place to like create from or give to other people, like, to fill your cup first. And I say this to people all the time at the end of readings. And so just to hear it from someone, for me, it just felt really like, because I know the truth of it, but it is nice to be reminded and to hear someone actually, it's like feeling like someone cares about you enough to really like remind you, like, you're worth it. I'm giving you permission, and you don't have to feel bad. Um, which goes back to like me being like, that's kind of why I want to go on this retreat, you know, because I know it would be fun. But anyway, part of what she was saying is like, you know, like, do you play musical instruments? Because I'm seeing guitar, and I'm like, yes. And it came in like last week for me to start playing music. But then I kind of went into my head about it, like, oh, like, do I really want to start taking lessons now? But it's like, no, I don't have to take lessons. I can just play, you know, I don't have to be good. Just like I'm beating my drum and singing pansori without knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Like, so, yeah, just to like play hopscotch, you know, to play around. I don't have to be excellent at something to make it worth my while to do it. Which is the way I usually think and used to think, which is why it's hard. It's like as soon as I get an impulse or an idea, I'm like, I think of the way to execute it and have it be meaningful or valuable. And it's like, why can't you just do it for today, you know, instead of having it have to mean something great? And another piece that came in that was really important for me is, so the other day I was feeling like, yeah, shitty, and realized I was like I was on Facebook, like scrolling Facebook, which I very rarely do, but I've been finding myself doing it lately because I think I feel this like restless energy. I'm comparing myself to people and getting really irritated and just like, what the fuck am I doing, you know? Like, I know it's a joke to compare, but it wasn't making me feel any better. And so then I realized, just, this is obviously not good for you. Just like notice your pattern and stop going on Facebook so much. So I decided today I'm just going to look at it less. But one thing I realized is I looked at a post from someone I'm close to and who I respect and admire. And he's doing great work in the world. And we haven't talked in a while, and I was kind of like, oh, like he's doing such great work, and I'm just doing this like small art thing, and you know, maybe he doesn't feel like my work is as important anymore, or he's not seeing the value because he's dealing with like real life stuff, you know. That was a dialogue going on in my head. And before reading that post, I almost reached out to him just to like connect, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because I knew if I did reach out, it was coming from a hungry place. Like, I wasn't coming from a place where I really have something to offer, but just like wanting to like get someone's attention or wanting validation. And I was like, Jane, you don't fucking need that. So I didn't reach out, and anyway, in the reading today, this Denise says she sees this male energy. And at first I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, because I have no males really in my space. But I realized it was him. And the message was that that he's actually looking to me. You know, like and he's told me this before, like many times, like, you're my teacher, you're my healer. And that's been healing for me, because, you know, when someone you admire and respect, when you realize they actually respect and admire you, and it's a mirror, that's healing, right? And not just this person, but, you know, that we're equal to everyone, you know, like, you're equal to Jesus, you know, you're equal to the Dalai Lama, and to whatever sports star or, you know, celebrity, we're all equal. And to remember that, you know, that anyone I'm putting up on a pedestal is actually, you know, either not on that pedestal, or I can put myself on just as easily. And in particular with this personal relationship, like, you know, that, and just with the whole Facebook thing in general, there's like stuff going on under the surface, and you cannot judge people and yourself against this ideal that you have of someone. That's not even true, you know? And this, I had a conversation with my friend about this the other day too. Like, this is, you know, I always knew it was important to like express your vulnerability and be authentic, just because it's inspiring and it helps other people do the same. But I wasn't really thinking about how toxic it is when we don't show our real faces, you know? It's like, because I was getting fucking torn up inside looking at other people's Facebook stuff. I was getting jealous and like, why does this person get to travel around the world? Like I should, and it's like I do travel around the world, but I was just feeling these like really, you know, low energy feelings, and it's like because I'm comparing myself against this ideal, and you know, granted, some people really do have like amazing lives and maybe they do feel happy all the time, and if that's the case, that's awesome. But it just made me realize the importance of showing all of our sides, you know, because that's vulnerable and that's authentic. And when we keep showing only our best selves, it creates, it feeds this energy of competition and scarcity, because it's like we are seeing a divided self, and then we start to divide our own selves because we think, you know, well, that's what that person's showing, so I must also only show this side. And then that becomes, and I must only be this way, you know? And I realize that's kind of what I've been doing to myself. It's like, okay, there's this part of me that's like super confident and creative and inspired, and then all of a sudden when that part, I don't feel that part anymore, and this other part comes in, I'm like, no, 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 that's not right. That's not me. I need to be this thing. And it's like, no, dude, it's all you. In fact, that confusion, that not knowing, that darkness, that's the place of the creation. That is the inspired, you know, active, clear space is actually the result. It's like that's not where the real work is done, you know. The real work, the real fuel for that expression comes in these kind of places. And so, yeah, just, yeah, remembering to like honor and love myself through this, and not just not see it as a detour, you know, like it's not get frustrated every time like the whistle blows or the ball changes hands and directions. It's like, it's a game, and this is all part of the game. So